It's Thursday, December the 1st, 2016, and this is your Barbados Today evening update. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. We begin with news that the man who was found dead on the Foul Bay Beach, St. Philip, in the early hours of this morning has been identified. He's 26-year-old David Nicholas Blenman of Haywoods in St. Peter. Police were able to ascertain his identity when his mother, sister, and a family friend arrived on the scene hours afterwards. Members of the family were, however, too distraught and shocked to talk to Barbados Today. When questioned, Public Relations Officer Acting Inspector Roland Cobbler said it was too early to say whether foul play is suspected, but noted that investigations were continuing into how Blenman met his death. His body was found by two people at around 5:45 this morning, lying on the beach, motionless. Pay talks today between the National Union of Public Workers and management of the Grantley Adams International Airport have ended, but it's not clear if a settlement was reached. None of the leaders of the union could be reached for comment up to news time. The previous negotiations had broken down, sparking protest action by the workers who picketed outside the airport last week. The NUPW had been demanding a 16% increase for the 400 employees. However, Cabinet had rejected that proposal, as well as the counter-offer from the airport management of a 15.5% pay hike. The Front Stewart administration has been adamant that any increase for the airport workers would have to be considered within the context of the pay increases for the entire public sector. Barbados has recorded the lowest number of AIDS-related deaths in the Caribbean last year. That's according to the latest data released by the UNAIDS to coincide with World AIDS Day today. The UN agency disclosed that 100 people died from AIDS in this country last year. Suriname and Belize were the closest to Barbados, having seen 200 deaths each. Barbados also has the least number of people living with HIV, 2,600, and along with Suriname and Belize, the lowest rate of newly infected HIV cases. Meanwhile, Minister of Social Care Steve Blackett says Barbados has been able to eliminate the mother-to-child transmission of HIV/AIDS. Speaking this morning at an HIV/AIDS program called Man Aware in National Heroes Square, where visiting British Prince Harry and Barbadian superstar Rihanna were tested for the disease. Blackett lauded Barbados for its strides in reducing the incidence of the deadly scourge.
In Barbados ourselves, we've had some significant achievements with the HIV/AIDS Commission and the other agencies working in collaboration with my ministry and the Ministry of Health. We've scored some significant achievements in that we have reduced the incidence of HIV and AIDS in Barbados. We have eliminated the mother-to-child transmissions, and those people who are afflicted with HIV and AIDS are now can now access their antiretroviral drugs in Barbados free of cost.
She's the fifth of 12 children, and from humble beginnings in St. Philip, she can now boast of not only being the first woman surgeon in the Caribbean to have qualified and worked in the region, but also that she is Barbados' newest dame. The title of Dame of St. Andrew was accorded to noted surgeon Selma Udine Jackman on Wednesday in this year's National Independence Honors, granting her immediate entry into an exclusive club reserved for the island's very brightest and best. She tells Barbados Today that the national honor came as a complete shock.
I don't think I've quite come to grips with that yet. I don't think I really understand just what that means. I don't feel as if I am worthy to be a part of that, but it's something that my colleagues seem to think that I should have, and it is for their, I accept it as being something that they think that I deserve to have.
However, she said she was grateful to God and her parents, as well as the government and the people of Barbados. In sports now, police in Greater Manchester, England have identified 10 suspects and are investigating reports from 35 victims in a major child sexual abuse ring within the football community in the UK. Police revealed that around 350 people have come forward to report allegations of abuse. The figures compiled by forces and including referrals to a specially set up helpline were released in a statement today. The lead child protection on the National Police Council, Simon Bailey, says he fully expects those numbers to change in the coming weeks.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Read all about it, read all about it. Get your paper. Only $2.25. Let's get your paper.
You again with that stale news from yesterday. I got the Barbados today on my phone and I just get my news for free.
What do she?
The Barbados Today, news you can trust.
But Maisie, this Christmas will be the best Belgian Christmas for we. Maisie, it is all because Republic Bank just like Santa Claus. Maisie, fix up the kitchen and a new TV we getting. A special time to commemorate. Republic will help you celebrate.
Get ready to celebrate 50 years of independence right through to the best Bajan Christmas ever with a Make It Happen loan of up to $50,000 from Republic Bank. Give your home a good old Bajan spooser, buy some new furniture and appliances, or take an after-holiday trip to visit loved ones over and away. You could also be one of our lucky winners to share in fabulous prizes. Just visit any branch to apply. Go to republicbarbados.com or call us at 227-2700. We're also available via Skype and FaceTime. Special conditions apply.
In Bajan style, it will be great with Republic Bank.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Lord, these papers ain't selling at all. Get your paper. Only $2.25. Get your paper, miss. Look, take it. I can pay for it.
Barbados today, all the way.
The Barbados Today, news you can trust.
In the region now, the Guyana government is getting a hammering for its proposal to introduce an environmental levy on local and imported manufactured goods. As we hear in this Handel Duncan report, the manufacturing sector is therefore warning citizens to brace for increased prices.
As the government will be looking to introduce an environmental levy as part of its green agenda and protecting the environment, Ramesh Duku, a past president of the Guyana Manufacturers and Services Association GSMA and presently director with the GSMA, is saying, brace yourselves, prices will go up for certain commodities.
Banners, no business in the world absorb anything. We're in business to make a profit, and any such tax will be passed on to the consumer. Anybody who pay a tax, pass it on to the consumer. There's nothing like absorbing, right? In business. You might believe that I sound ruthless, etc., etc. But that's the reality of business. Will you make black pudding and sell it for below the cost? Absolutely not. Good.
Further afield now, Bolivian authorities today suspended the license of a tiny charter airline whose plane crashed in Colombia this week after apparently running out of fuel, killing 71 people and wiping out a Brazilian soccer team on its way to a regional cup final. Monday night's disaster sent shockwaves across the global soccer community and plunged Latin America's largest nation, Brazil, into mourning as it reels from a deep recession and political crisis. The small team was traveling to the biggest game in its history, the final of the Copa Sudamericana. Colombian investigators say the crash might have resulted from the lack of fuel on the plane operated by charter airline Lima Bolivia. And finally, Francois Hollande has stunned France by declaring he will not seek a second term as president of France. Hollande, faced with very low popularity ratings, has become the first sitting president in modern French history not to seek re-election. In a televised address, he said he was aware of the risks of not running and warned of the threat from the far-right National Front. That's news and sports, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. Also subscribe to our e-paper email updates and like us on Facebook. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, as well as Channel 99 on Flow TV and Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic evening.